Your mouth feels wrong this morning, thick, stale, like something lived there overnight and forgot to leave. You reach for your toothbrush before you even think about it. It is the most automatic thing you do all day. But for roughly 300,000 years of human history, there was no toothbrush, no toothpaste, no mint, no fluoride, nothing you would recognize. And yet, archaeologists keep finding something unexpected. Ancient human teeth, remarkably intact, often cleaner than yours. How? The answer is stranger, older, and more ingenious than you have been told. Let us go back, way back, before dentists, before pharmacies, before the plastic stick sitting in your bathroom right now. You are a hunter-gatherer living somewhere on the African savanna roughly 100,000 years ago. You wake up. Your mouth does not feel the way yours does this morning. And the reason for that starts with what you ate the night before. Your diet contains almost no refined sugar, no processed grain, no sticky carbohydrates that cling to enamel and feed the bacteria that rot teeth from the inside. Researchers studying skeletal remains from pre-agricultural populations, people who lived by hunting and foraging, consistently find low rates of cavities. A landmark analysis published by Alan Goodman and colleagues at the University of Massachusetts found that cavity rates in pre-farming populations hovered around 2 to 3%. After agriculture arrived, that number climbed above 20% almost immediately. Your ancient mouth was protected not by brushing, but by what never went into it. But food alone does not explain everything, because your ancestors did clean their teeth, just not the way you imagine. Across dozens of archaeological sites, from the Neolithic settlements of Europe to ancient Egypt to Iron Age Africa, researchers have found the same object over and over again. A short stick, roughly the width of a finger, one end chewed until the fibers splayed out into a soft brush. These are called chew sticks, and they are one of the oldest dental tools ever found. The earliest confirmed examples date back roughly 3,500 years, found in Egyptian tombs alongside combs and cosmetics, treated as essential personal items. But ethnobotanist Nina Etkin, who spent decades studying traditional plant use across cultures, documented chew stick use in over 150 societies worldwide. The practice did not need to be invented and reinvented every time. It appeared independently on nearly every inhabited continent, which tells you something important. This worked. It worked well enough that humans kept discovering it on their own, across thousands of years of separation. The most common source? A tree called Salvadora persica. You may not know the name, but the plant has another one, the toothbrush tree. Chewing a twig from this tree does not just mechanically scrub the surface. The fibers release compounds, fluoride, silica, antibacterial tannins, that actively fight the bacteria responsible for plaque, gum disease, and decay. A clinical review published in the Journal of Periodontology found that properly used Salvadora persica sticks reduced plaque and bacterial load comparably to a standard nylon toothbrush. The World Health Organization still recommends them today for communities without access to modern dental care. Your ancestors were not guessing. They had found, through generations of trial and observation, a tool that genuinely worked. But it did not stop with chew sticks. The ancient Egyptians, some of the most detail-obsessed record keepers in human history, left us something remarkable. A dental paste recipe dating to roughly 4 AD, discovered on a papyrus scrap and analyzed by dental researchers at a Vienna museum. The formula combined rock salt, dried iris flower, pepper, and mint. When researchers actually mixed and tested it, they found it produced a paste that was slightly more alkaline than modern toothpaste and performed comparably in terms of plaque removal. It also apparently caused some gum bleeding. The ancient Egyptian scribes noted this, and then kept using it anyway. The Greeks and Romans took a different direction. They preferred powders, pulverized oyster shells, crushed bone, charcoal, and in some cases powdered ox hoof. The abrasives were real. They worked by physically scraping debris from enamel. Pliny the Elder, writing in the 1st century, recommended mouse brain applied to the gums for toothache. You do not need to try that one. But charcoal is worth pausing on, because activated charcoal appears in dental remedies across cultures almost as widely as chew sticks. In ancient India, in West Africa, in Japan, in pre-Columbian America, it is porous. It binds to compounds on the tooth surface and can reduce surface staining. It is still sold today in specialty toothpaste. It is not new. It is ancient and it is everywhere. So let us reconstruct a morning. You are living in a Neolithic settlement somewhere in the Fertile Crescent about 7,000 years ago. Agriculture has just arrived in your part of the world. You wake at dawn in a mud brick house. Your first act is to pick up the small stick you left near the doorway last night, a twig from a particular shrub your grandmother taught you to use. You chew the end for a few minutes until the fibers soften and spread. You work it against your teeth the same way she showed you, along the gum line. Back and forth on the inner surfaces. You spit. You rinse with water. If you are wealthy, you might finish with a pinch of salt powder mixed with dried herbs. If you are ordinary, the stick is enough. Your teeth, in all likelihood, are in better shape than those of someone living in a medieval city a few thousand years later. Because in that city, refined sugar has begun to arrive from trade routes, but dental knowledge has not kept pace. Medieval European skeletal records, analyzed extensively by bioarchaeologist Simon Mays of historic England, show a dramatic spike in tooth decay and tooth loss compared to the populations that came before. The worst teeth in all of human prehistory are not the ancient ones. They belong to the early modern period, roughly 1500 to 1800. When sugar became cheap, chew sticks fell out of fashion in Europe, and the bristled toothbrush had not yet become widely used. The bristled brush you recognize did not arrive until 1498 in China, where hog bristles were set into a bone handle, and did not reach mass production in Europe until the late 1700s. Nylon bristles, which are what you are actually using right now, date only to 1938. The object you reach for every morning without thinking is, by any measure of human history, a brand new invention. And here's the counterintuitive twist that undoes the whole story. The reason your ancient ancestors had cleaner teeth was not better technology. It was not more discipline. It was the absence of one thing: refined sugar. Every tool they used, the chew stick, the salt, the charcoal, the herbal powder, was compensating, in small ways, for a problem that barely existed. Their diet did the heavy lifting. The bacteria that cause tooth decay feed on fermentable carbohydrates. Reduce those carbohydrates and you reduce the bacteria. Keep the bacteria low and the tooth survives for decades without much help at all. The toothbrush is not a triumph over a timeless human problem. It is a response to a problem humans mostly created for themselves in the last few thousand years. The next time you stand at your sink in the morning, half awake, running a nylon brush along your teeth before the day begins, consider what that routine is actually doing. It is fighting the biological consequences of a diet your body was never quite built for. You have the technology. You just also have the problem it was invented to solve. For 300,000 years, your ancestors woke up and reached for a stick. And more often than not, that was enough.